It's a living play. Are not all plays living? Maybe. It depends on the play. If you watch a play that's dead, it's not living. It's not really a joke in there, it's just sort of words that haven't really gone in a good direction after all. Sometimes they don't. Sometimes they don't. It's like it starts high with promise, and then just very swiftly just goes, no, there's fuck all there. Not even an and yes. Or yes and, whichever way around you like it. Can't even save it on that, can it? No, just sort of dies a death. Which is oddly appropriate because we're going to be putting people in the ground who have died a death. Because we are in fact the graveyard keeper. Which I don't know. How much more doings will we do on our graveyard keepings? I do not know. We've been definitely slow with it, I think, but an hour a week is probably the reason why I've been devilishly slow with it, but still. We will see what happens with the graveyard keeper. If you graveyard keep, will you finally be able to have that rave in the yard? With a bit of luck, but we still need to get that old man his statues before we can upgrade the church to perhaps fully have the rave in the yard. But, and what would be a G rave in the yard, I wonder? Is it just all songs in the key of G? Truth be told, I don't know what that would do to songs to turn them all into the key of G. I would be fascinated to find out. But I would need a professional musician to do that. One that understands precisely what putting it in the key of G actually means. Because I can use those words, but I do not understand them. So we got the Legionary Helm. Excellent. Oh, and we got a couple of pumpkins. Excellent. Yes, I remember that. Yeah, we stole all that shit off the farmer, didn't we? Excellent. We've done magically good things. This is what I like to see. Why is there an actual body in the... Oh yeah, there is a body in the morgue. There's a body in the morgue. There's a body in the boom boom morgue. I'm not going to bother with the soul this time because I don't understand it and it's not going anywhere. That's a shit body. We're taking the meat and burning it because nobody would miss this little prick. He has sinned too much. You, sir, have sinned like no one else. We'll burn the body and then shoot over to Clotho. Oh, Clothies. Speak up, dear. Shut up. No, I don't think I want to put up shelves. Oh, he didn't say that. I don't know what I'm saying. I'm trying to be funny. It's not working. I don't know why you watch this shit. Let's go speak to Clotho. See if she can enchant my pumpkin. I bought you... Oh, it needs to be a gold star pumpkin. Oh, you are a bitch. Oh, great. Soup is the perfect dish. You just wait until all your teeth fall out, then you'll know. You'll damn well know. Cabbage soup, pumpkin soup, veggie soup, indeed. Right, what else? Yeah, it was just all numerous chemicals for my doings. Alcohol, oil. I suppose arguably we could possibly pick up a couple more. Although that's expensive. That's 5 silver. I don't really want to. And so I'm not going to. Cabbage soup, please. Oh, no, sir. You don't want cabbage soup. You'll be farting all evening. Get it? No, I don't. Don't get it. I'll get the alchemist. Oh, you want me to get the alchemist? No, I need to save my money. Money is precious. Too precious to be wasting on alchemy. Especially since I can just put things together and hope for the best. So there's an actual sort of little path down here. Have I ever been down this little path? I feel like I must have been down this little path. It's just more clay there. Another berry bush, I suppose. We'll take this berry bush since it's here. Use alchemy to make monies. That's not how alchemy works. I mean, technically, it's exactly how alchemy could work, but or it's at least the original theory of what alchemy could do, isn't it? Because it is the notion of... Is it? Yeah, it is alchemy, isn't it? The pursuit of changing lead into gold and all that jazz. Turn children into gold. Oh, I did grit. Oh, that's why I have... Right, okay, that's fine. Do we have enough to build some more? Yes, we do. Excellent. All of them, or just a couple? No, all of them. Excellent. Just enough. Excellent. Black Garden is hilarious. You must elaborate. In what way? Just in the fact that it looks like it's a funny card, or it's really, really good? I'm assuming really, really good. But I am slightly curious as to what makes it really good. Come here. It just ruins people's plans. I see. So what's the actual sort of definition of what it's doing? What's its sort of official designation of what it's actually trying to do for you? Because I don't know its official notion. Right, so we'll just pop them in meat in there. And I'll tell you what, maybe we will use... Yeah, we'll use 5 of those meats to get some packages of meat. And that should hopefully do something nice. That will allow me to sell some meat, which I think will work nicely for me. Anything we want to store in here? No, berries are going to go downstairs. Put the salt in there. We'll sell that. We don't want that pumpkin after all, because we need a gold star pumpkin. We want to take the Legionnaire's helmet back to my pub. So yeah, let's probably just take the berries downstairs. Take the berries to the floor, take the berries to the floor, take the berries to the boom boom floor. And now more berry juice. And we've got the first of our wines, 20 red wines. 20 red wines. How many wines do you need? I don't know. It's actually a damn fine question.
Who's sneaking about?
You're sneaking about. Mr. Blue Boosh is sneaking about. What's he sneaking about for? He shouldn't be sneaking about. It's a field spell with this description. If a monster is normal or special summoned face up, except by the effect of Black Garden, halve its attack. Then the control of that monster special summons 1 rose token to their opponent's field in attack position. This attack loss remains even if this card leaves the field. That is quite good. You can target 1 monster in your graveyard with attack equal to the total attack of all plant monsters on the field, destroy this card and as many plant monsters on the field as possible. Then if you destroyed all of them, special summon that targeted monster. That is quite something. What am I trying to do? Oh, take... So I suppose I need Inquisitor's Day, which is not today. Okay, not today. I'll tell you what, let's put 10 bottles of wine in here anyway, because we don't need those bottles of wine. I had a feeling my little friend was going to just shoot off with my wine. I suppose that is sort of what he does. Let's go deal with the underground stuff with my Legionnaire's helmet. That should be easy enough to find. Oh, fuck off. That's what I say to a Galaxy Eyes Photon Dragon deck. Fuck off. Fucking annoying piece of shit. Thieving your monsters to gain more attack strength and all that. And I mean, it's all just irritating nonsense. I'm not going to lie. Genuinely, I don't know if there's anything about Yu-Gi-Oh! That I like nowadays. But still. Yes, that is another annoyance. So you play it after you've gotten something with over 1,600 attack points and just laugh as everything your opponent summons just gets nerfed. Yeah, that does sound quite good. But if I just use the Queen effect to throw him back in the deck, it doesn't matter. You always seem to have options. That's the benefit of your little Madolches. I'm assuming you are still using your Madolches. But they seem to possess options. None of my decks ever seem to possess any options other than smash things hard, which just doesn't seem to work, apart from when the enemy is doing smash things hard, because their smash things hard monsters what they tend to do is have 1,001 defects that make them immune to everything, whereas mine just smash hard. Chamber pots we empty for the priests smell bad, man. Left flank, march. Aren't you ashamed of yourself? You're a tough warrior. Concerned about some chamber pots? Goddamn bastard. Left flank, march. You just stand like a statue and drive away the priestess's drunken fans. Left flank, march. That's it. I've already forgotten where to put a helmet on. Head, traditionally. Unless you've got a helmet, in which case you put it on your helmet. Left flank, march. But it's the ancient god's will, Jove. And let our strong-willed ancient god empty his priest's chamber pots himself. Left flank, march. We don't need him, Heradric. We can provide food and water for ourselves, am I right, Lucius? Left flank, march. Sure, I want to pick my warm woman. Have you seen the cow he chose for me? Bit harsh, mate, bit harsh. I don't know if you're much of a looker. We'd never manage it anyway. Diggus will never give us the keys to the portal. Ba-ba-ba-dee. True, you'll just have to steal them. Rob my father? Cresfold, how can we? Well, very easily. And that sounds more like it's just Rob is my father. How could he be? How could Rob be my father? He's only your adopted father. Okay, we'll do everything without you. Pfft, you promised Chain that you would be together and... And what, sir? Or are we going to cut out? Oh no, but okay, Jove, you win. By Jove, I'm in. And I am stood by Jove. Halt! I think they had already halted, mate. Rear march. Ah, see, I don't think you took him literally enough there. What you should have done was marched backwards, literally. Marching backwards for Christmas. I'll show you sometime if you want. Just pop into Discord and screen share it. I'm not going to use anything else until hit plat 1, that's fair. He knows what he wants, not like these other wutters. I don't like him. By the way, I didn't see you there this time either. Joe's hair is awesome. Do we think we can get a wig and some glue? I prefer you bald. Let's continue. The next thing is the ancient lockpicks. Wow, it belongs to the miller. What a twist. Well, that is a little unexpected. We also need a priest's medallion. And old Dig can help us with it. Dig? Something else? Okay, Cresfold has the an artifact. I think it's just supposed to be, hey, it has an artifact. The Legionary Dagger. Okay, so take the Legionary Dagger from Cresfold. And there was a couple other bits and bobs as well that it wanted. Box rack, we need, yeah, probably want some box racks. So let's go back to Sweet Home and get myself some more chunky woods. Although, tell you what we'll do first. We'll first go to the Dead Horse and sell my meat and my death certificates, which are definitely not related. I have definitely not taken this meat from the corpses. Finish the offer. Excellent. Money in the pockets. And an alchemy recipe. Violet paint. I don't want violet paint. Also, I was supposed to put that in the pub, and I forgot. I think that's why my brain was suggesting I wanted to go upstairs. But then the brain didn't really finish off the part about actually doing that and finishing off. But there you go. You can use the Little Princesses and the Owl to get out a bunch of level 4s. And Mestangelato to get out spells, traps. Then go into rank 4 Xyz monsters. Either Teacher to shuffle stuff from graveyard to deck. Or the Queen to non-targeting shuffle 2 things back into their duck. Duck? Yes, back into their duck. You always want to shove it back in the duck. Because frankly, that's the only way you're gonna get anywhere. By shoving it in the duck. Oh, not those ones. I'll tell you what, we'll take all the beams. If they can stop her from getting out, the deck struggles and packs a lot of things aimed at making sure that combo... Oh, I've run out of energy. Bullets. That's a lot of things aimed at making sure that combo goes off properly. But if Queen hits the field with at least one monster in the graveyard, I can spin back up to 2 things to clear the field and easily punch for 8k. See, I don't like... Some of the ways you summon things nowadays are such garbage. Because once upon a time, and I know, I'm an old man complaining about a young man's sport, it would seem. But, like, there was actual sort of consequence once upon a time. When you sort of summoned a big scary monster, you had to sort of go, okay, I am now dedicating myself to summoning this big scary monster because I'm actually having to tribute something. I'm having to, it's going to cost me something. Whereas nowadays, it's just like, yeah, this cost me nothing because obviously I just resummoned them all back with its effect. And it's like, wait, fuck off. This is not how it should work. It shouldn't be, I've summoned my big Gribbler. I now also summon all the little Gribblers that I used to summon the big Gribbler. It's like, no. Dare you? No. You had to sacrifice the small Gribbles to get the big Gribble. You can't just bring the small Gribbles back. Because then what they do is summon a second big Gribbler, who equally brings back all the little Gribblers. So you can bring back a third big Gribble. It's like, no. There needs to be cost. I think that's the fundamental thing that's probably missing from Yu-Gi-Oh! Nowadays, is there doesn't seem to be any cost. Everything is just like, yeah, you can just do it and then get everything back. Throw that in the graveyard, that's fine. Just use it out of the graveyard. Not a problem. What's that? Put this back in your deck. But then summon a shitload of other things. So, you know, it's not costing you anything. There's no cost to any notion that you're doing. Which I think is where at least some of my problem with it comes from. Because it feels like what you need is some kind of thing where, in order to get this to work, it will cost me this. But there you go. I think the bigger issue is specifically with the graveyard. True. And how it doesn't feel like a graveyard. Yeah. But I think that, as I say, I think that boils down to cost. Nothing costs anything anymore. So the graveyard is of no consequence. But still. If things actually cost something. Oh, excellent. The pub is earning me money. That's what we like to see. And now finally, our last box rack. Because I'm pretty certain there's nothing else to build down here. You just want the box racks. But then again, I'm never likely to build this many box racks. But still. Dimension Shifter. Basically useless as a monster. Yes. It shouldn't be basically useless as a monster, but there's an awfully large volume of things that are useless as monsters, but very good as weird shit that's now required in decks. Right, so what do we want to do now? Probably wait until, yeah. I suppose well, it's middle of the night, so I don't think anybody's going to be around for doing that. Now, the Miller is the fellow with the what's it, isn't it? I do still need a trade license. But I think that's going to cost me a lot of gold more than anything else. Necronomicon, we need to get the Astrologer on side. Necklace from Snake, we need to get Snake on side, which means we need the Necronomicon. Create a magic pumpkin. No, we need that gold pumpkin. Ancient lockpicks from the Miller, so we need to do that. Find the vampire, that's going to be easier said than done, I think. So pumpkin, but that needs to be gold. Build hives. Yes, we need more bees. Take the priest's medallion from Dig. Not necessarily too outrageous, but beer. So, right, what did we need for beer? We needed hops. Now, crafted at the vineyard. But where am I going to get hop seeds from is the big question. I don't know, but I'll tell you what, let's deal with... I'll tell you, let's deal with the vineyard, I think. If you have nothing in your graveyard, you can discard him, and for the rest of the turn, and the next, anything that would go to the graveyard gets instantly banished instead, yeah. If it can brick if you draw it late and can screw over your turn. As can most things in Venice, but... Excellent. Well, we only got a few grape seeds, but I suppose that'll do. Priesty's back in action. He's heading down here. Alright, Priest. I'll meet you at the church in a moment, Chief. I walk a lot faster than you, don't I, mate? Not a problem. Whee! But arguably we want to get rid of, yeah, we've got some crop waste. And now we've got peat and a load of other bits that we don't really want, but never mind. Never mind. We'll deposit them in our gardening chest. Deposit the peat. Maggots. Yep, that'll do. That's all we want. Now we head over here. And we deposit the grapes underground. That's the one. Now let's head out and up to the churchyard, where we can conduct a little service today. Anything interesting there? No, we're all good. Start praying. Oh, no, okay, we're not quite there yet. Just got to wait a few moments, and then it will be daytime, it would seem. I've had duels against virtual world decks, probably just outside the big three of Drytron, Zeus, and Eldlick, where they play the continuous spell and activate its effect. Oh, yeah, is that the continuous banishment spell? Yeah, that was very annoying, because it completely scuppered my Exodia stratagem. Because, of course, they didn't go to the graveyard. So, pretty much the moment I spotted that, every time it was just, nope, not fighting this fight, because it's now impossible. Because there is no, unfortunately, the way my decks end up, there is no sort of backup plan for getting around a lot of these things. I suppose nowadays it does feature Harpy's Feather Duster and a couple of other odds and ends that can remove magic cards, but the problem is, of course, it's relying on being able to draw those, which again is sort of the slight problem with a lot of the current standard of Yu-Gi-Oh! There's no sense of relying on a draw. You kind of just have all your cards laid out in front of you, because you can shuffle them and trade them so much so that, you know, you don't actually have to care about your next draw. It's like, oh, what's my next draw going to be? It doesn't matter. I can just shuffle around until I get exactly what I want anyway. Now, what do we want to do? I'm not entirely sure. Can't quite remember how to get rid of the Inquisition guards at which hill, but we'll see. Discarding a trap on monster, it can search out any archetype card of the opposite type. Makes them a little complicated, but super consistent if you know how to run it. But if the card... There you go, that's another thing. I don't know how to run that. I would never understand how to run something that complicated, I'm sure. I feel like it might be worthwhile popping down into the old underground, so let's just figure out the best thing to do with my inventory. Probably deposit a few of these things in the underground. Possibly put the faith in the morgue. Let's put faith in the morgue. Or just do some more studying, actually. Might be worthwhile. Because we're not going to get any substantial stuff. We're not going to get any sort of zombies anytime soon, I don't think. And by the time we want to get some zombies, we'll be able to sort of... I'm sure we'll be able to afford a zombie or two. I don't think that hammer's going to have... No, that's 10! 10 bastard. 10 bastard faith. Only one faith to study a carrot, so that's something, I suppose. This carrot. I've got one random carrot on me. Oh, I've also got a story that I don't want. Because I don't want that carrot. Yeah, if we go up, deposit the carrot, Probably like Thunder Dragons, fusion deck with Titan and Colossus that are big gribbly dragons and have solid effects. 1-1 against the deck so far. I did have a look. I think it would take a lot of effort to try and get in there and get those things. Whoops, I wanted to have a little break. So yeah. Yeah, that's Women's Day. So we don't have to worry about Women's Day just yet. Because that's Miss Charm, I think her name is actually. So yeah, let's go dungeon crawling, see what happens. We might be able to tackle one of the, well, you know, just tackle another few levels in the dungeon and get something out of it. Hopefully, that's the general general desire when it comes to these things. So yeah, I think we are at level 5, and I think we did die last time, didn't we? Which was slightly annoying. I suppose I underestimated me. Can't do anything there. That's fine. Pretty much any decent deck is super expensive. Yes. Which is often the falling point of all desire to figure out a new deck, because it's suddenly like, oh, I could figure, no. Oh, I could, no. Oh, I could do something, no. Which is going to be a problem, but there you go. It's just the way the game functions, I suppose. But it does sort of, it certainly diminishes my will to bother. I assume that's just me, though, as is so often the way. So can I just take that exit, or is there monsters left? No, there are monsters left. So if you're unaware of how this works, I just had to test out which button was the sword, because I've not done much combat in this. If you're unaware of how this one works... Oh, Jesus Christ, I think we might just have to tank it and hope for the best on this occasion, because there's a few too many enemies. When there's sort of one or two enemies, it's not too bad. You can sort of start trying your best to actually sort of start dodging and jumping around them, but unfortunately... Have I really run out of... Jesus, I have actually run out of inventory space already. Okay. Bloody nails we don't need at all. Metal scrap we don't really need. Probably bat wings will be the next thing I'd get rid of if... yeah, get rid of those bat wings. Oh, apparently those bat wings just are not getting in the inventory. Okay, we may just be followed by bat wings the entire time. Better to spend on something you'll like than something cheaper. Just save up 1k gems and go ham on something. Well, this is the problem. I think the fundamental problem is I don't like anything, and that is a problem that follows me throughout my entire life. I don't think there's anything that I have ever been classified as actually liking, which is terribly inconvenient, I assure you. But it does just sort of... That one has just started getting a little bit more tiresome than enjoyable, I find. Mostly, I suppose, because everybody else is better at it, and I find myself losing the will to bother when it's just an overwhelming sense of, oh my god, that is just straight up everybody is better at it. Yes, I've just realised these are lava bats, which is interesting and annoying. Not too bad. Again, if you get them on their own, although we lost a lot of health there. A lot of health. I really think I think I need more armour. I need to perhaps focus on armour. Oh, God, there's so many like things to collect. It's quite frustrating. Let's use that fish stew and then we can collect the gold nuggets. Probably well worth it. Well, no better way to improve than bang your head against stuff and learn cards as you meet them. Armour, I hardly know it, of course. It's not always the most fun way. No, I can't. This is where I can't learn things, I think, is the unfortunate truth. If I don't learn things immediately, I get terribly bored with them. A character flaw beyond comparison, I suppose. But there you go. I keep having a go. I've managed to finish off my Exodia wins, so I now have... well, I ended up with disappointment, truth be told, because it was very much a sort of... Yes, I've finished it off, and I've unlocked Oh, I see. It's a title called The Sealed One. Right. That's... Yes. Because everybody really sees all of your titles. And yes. Couldn't have been like an Exodia. I'd have been satisfied if it was like an Exodia Mate or some kind of Exodia base, something like that. But no, it's just the word sealed one that you can apply to your title, and it's like, okay, maybe that wasn't as worthwhile as I thought it perhaps was going to be. But there you go. So it turned out it was a little bit disappointing. Damn it, I think they're going to get the better of me again. I've got one more fucking potion, which I don't know. Go on, I suppose we'll have to use it. Try and at least cross this floor. But yeah, this is not doing incredibly well here. And emphasis on not doing incredibly well here, because we're really sort of fucking it up something rotten there, but there you go. Oh, I should have gotten rid of the bat wings, really. And the metal scrap, there we go. Try and avoid... Oh, I'm never gonna... I was going to say, I'm never going to avoid all of this. I'll have to destroy it again. Yeah, if there's too many more enemies, I think I'm buggered again. Bollocks. This is proving very difficult, this dungeon. I don't recall this being that difficult, but I assume I perhaps had a better sword and generally better equipment, perhaps. And maybe just better understanding of getting out the way of things a bit better. Which, unfortunately, I seem to be failing miserably at. But there you go. Stay away from VW and DDD decks then. Back when the DDD thing was new, people would literally print out a flowchart of what to do depending on board state while playtesting. Get out 2 big dragons that can floodgate a bit, discard iCard thingy, win. I mean, it sounds delightful. Sounds like a very simple thing to do, but unfortunately, there tends to be that stumbling block of the opponent, and a lot of the time, they seem to have cards that say no. Is the issue I've found. Especially, there's a good few. There's a good few where you look at them and you think, okay, you do know that should be once per turn. Guys, designers of Yu-Gi-Oh! You really ought to have made that once per turn, because having that where they can just pay the cost over and over and over again means I lose my entire field of cards, and there's fuck all I can do about that, because they can just keep repeating the effect and repeating the effect and repeating the effect and repeating the effect. And it's like, is this really this is how the game goes, is it? Okay. This is feeling like bullshit. And often, you know, what feels like bullshit and seems to be bullshit, it is sometimes you have to, you know, try and avoid putting your hands in it, because it turns out it is actually bullshit. If it smells like bullshit and it acts like bullshit. There you go. A lot of early cards were broken because they lacked problem-solving card text, but that got errated to add hard one turn. Yes, well, I mean, a hell of a lot of them do not have once per turn, unfortunately. Now, did I see that there was actually some hops in here somewhere? No, that's hemp. Shame. Oh, I suppose we want to put my seeds in my garden somewhere online. Not too many more left that be used multiple times per turn without discarding something. Well, I think the issue was it was just discarding from the graveyard, so it was meaningless. There was no. It wasn't a challenge. It's not like they actually had to discard anything of worth to them. They were just discarding stuff from the grave, and it's like, yeah, I can just do whatever I want. I can do this constantly. So it was very inconsequential, but maybe that's just my interpretation. Maybe it was costing them dearly, but still. But Eva and Benton can get so many fairies, it's functionally pointless. Yes, that one is a problem child. That one, the moment that turns up, I just leave, because I can't be bothered. I can't be bothered to just have every plan negated. But again, I suppose I'm just I just want... I think what I want is a nice back and forth. That's kind of all I want. Like, you play a card, I play a card, you play a card, I play a card. Maybe I get to play 2 cards this round. Maybe you get to play 2 cards. I'll play a card, you play a card. Whereas what it generally tends to be is I'll play a card and then they'll play 600 cards, which is fucking impressive considering there's usually only 40 in a deck. But somehow they manage to rotate those cards so much that they actually manage to play them repeatedly. So, there you go. Put the berries in the chest. I think at this point I am just sort of waiting for the fella to turn up. I decided to try and do one more to get silver, and now I'm looking at Odd Eyes Absolute Dragon. Sad times. Yes. I think it was Odd Eyes that annoyed me. I mean, every card annoys me, I'm not going to lie, but it particularly annoyed me because they managed to summon a big nasty one that just stopped all effects in the battle phase. And I was like, great, that's shut down the Exodia stuff I'm doing. Excellent. That's what we wanted to see. Because it does feel oddly personal when they shut down the one thing your deck is trying to do. Without much in the way of effort or reasoning. That's the other thing that often gets to you. There was no reason for you to shut that down. You had no idea this was part of my strategy. You're just shutting things down for the sake of shutting things down. And, yeah, kind of ruins your mood when they do that. There you go. Yes, I have looked. I think I do have like a lot of my decks end up being just this sort of so-and-so whip. Work in progress, just in case anybody wasn't aware. I think I recently heard someone go, I didn't know what that meant. So just on the off chance you didn't know what that meant, it's work in progress. So pretty much all of my decks are just called whip, 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 whip. Even the Exodia one, that strictly speaking is mostly finished, is still just classified as a whip. Because there's still room for improvement. I mean, all of my decks have room for improvement, but so. And I must admit, it's interesting. We were discussing... I did find another way around it, but we were discussing a card that swapped cards the other week. Unfortunately, the incantation cards shut that down. Because, I mean, it's amazing. It's genuinely, like, troubling sometimes. The fact that the one cards I end up gravitating towards... I think I have mentioned this, I'm not sure now. But the incantations block all extra summons. So you can't extra summon from your deck. And it's like, really? Really? The one group of fucking monsters I decided to gravitate towards to make an interesting deck from completely ban you from bringing out extra deck monsters. It's like, fuck my life. So the extra deck card, I can't remember what it was called, that allowed you to swap monsters with the enemy, not really a viable option. But I did happen to stumble upon a public deck thing that I saw, which I'd completely forgotten. It's a very old card. I think it's still sort of UR based in this one, but it's a very old card, which is just the creature swap, I think it's called. At least that's functionally that's what it does. Whether it is actually called creature swap or not, I'm not entirely sure. I've got the wrong day. This is Merchant's Day. Well, shit. I can't do anything with those guys. Can't do anything much with that either. Bugger. Well then, I guess we won't be doing that. It's just called Switch, isn't it? It might very well be. As I say, I can't quite remember what it's called. But I'm fairly certain it's used in the anime at some point, so you may be very right. Petting's effect. Heavy petting or just general petting, I suppose. Also locks me into archetype special summons, which has screwed me over a few times. No Zeus, can't kaiju. I must admit, I'm assuming it probably wouldn't work, but I quite like the idea of looking into the kaijus. Oh, of course, yeah. I got so tired without any work to do. Whatever you want, save it for next time. Today I'm in a fury. Okay, I'll just need to borrow the lockpicks you're holding. No way! It's the only clue. Imagine some crooks has stolen the invitation. It was an invitation to participate in the official comedy show in the town. I passed 5 qualifying rounds for the competition. I paid 6 bribes. And when did you discover that the invitation was stolen? Well, I just returned home from the tavern and saw these rock picks. These rock picks, or lock picks, or pock flicks. And my keyhole knew no rest. Listen, get my invitation back and the lock picks are yours. Kaijus are a lot of fun if you can run them. I've definitely enjoyed having a couple of turtles in my deck. Well, I'd be tempted to try looking at the full Kaiju experience, but I don't know how good that would end up being, but just intrigues me. Okay, so this is where we might be able to get some hops from if we can get him to be a friend. So do some searching. Okay, we can do that. Search here. A rope and a noose. There's a note. Farewell, cruel world, Adam. Oh dear. Looks like Adam couldn't find a suitable branch, poor man. Oh dear. Oh, I do get his rope though. I do get Adam's rope. That's unfortunate. Pie? Someone must have had a picnic here a long time ago, judging by the mould. Do I get the pie? No, I don't get the pie. Shame. Yugi uses it in Season 1 to get through the Paradox Brothers Labyrinth. He uses it to swap... Yes, you're right. You're quite right. So yeah, I think that is the card we're going with. Oh! Don't come any closer or I'll attack. Why are you hiding there? I'm not sure that I can trust you or you Miller's friend. Not really, you're just business colleagues. Good. Miller is my sworn enemy, and I'm here to learn his sinister plan. Look, I already found a suspicious fishhook here. He's definitely not himself, but this hook points towards the lighthouse keeper. Okay, I guess I'll go ask the lighthouse keeper. Who's the... Oh, well, he's the bloke who does fishing. And he is going to be at the lighthouse, I suppose. Oh, here we go. Marvellous. Where's my favourite fishing hook? Where are you, my boy? Well, luckily I have plenty of other favourite hooks. That's definitely him. You're a thief. Return Miller's invitation. Never. He's a fraud. Those are my jokes he's telling at the comedy show. They should invite me, not him. Thanks to him, I've lost my chance to become a famous comic. You know what? I could organise a comedy show in my tavern, and you could perform there. Really? You'd do that for me? Oh, my saviour, let me kiss you. But there has to be a drum set, otherwise my jokes don't work. He needs a ba-dum-dum-tsh. Organise a comedy show at my bar. I can probably do that. I can do that. Maybe. I don't know precisely what I need to do that. So, plus we can talk to Dig in a moment, I suppose. In fact, we can talk to Dig first. Dig, I need something from you. Ding dong, bing bang bong. Dig I am I? Ooh. Gamer Shield. Generally the best to use, as he has the lowest attack, but his SR, if you want to test it a bit. Gardaler, the mystery dust kaiju, is like 27. I think I've got a couple of Gardalas. Gardalas. Yeah, Gardalas. They're pretty powerful spell card that sometimes sees play alongside them in other decks as well, and the Field Cat spell that collects kaiju counters for their secondary effects, but your opponent can use counters as well if they have a kaiju. No clue what other support they have. Basically, no one plays a pure kaiju deck. No. Dig, where's your priest's medallion? I hid it away from time to dance spells that everything older. Dig, I can offer you good money for that medallion. Money isn't tasty, cakes are tasty, but time spells them too. I need booze. I'll submerge my cakes in it and that will keep them forever. Ooh, find me some booze, Snake, or you try making it myself. I need just straight up booze. Okie dokie. Seed oil, hemp seeds, hemp. Don't really want any of those. Yes. Gamma Chill. Oh, I've got the chills for Gamma. Is Gamera, Gadala is Mothra. Certainly Gadala I recognise as Mothra. The other one not necessarily quite as much I would recognise, but... so we need a... Interesting, we do need a drum kit. But I can't seem to build a drum kit, so that's interesting. But maybe they don't... You don't literally need a drum kit, perhaps. So we do need some faith. Okay, that's fine. And we do need 10 flyers. Okay, again, that's sort of fine, I suppose. I can't quite remember how we do flyers, but still. I knocked the Dark Magician secret pack, and I'm pulling loads of cards. I'm recognising and clapping at knowing. Is Dark Magician good? I mean, Oni probably knows more whether it's full meta or not, but a couple of the ones I've stumbled against have still had that level of pure shuffling nonsense. So, if it helps, the last time I faced off against a Dark Magician deck, it pissed me off. That probably tells you all you need to know. It's quite functional and good. Yeah, as I say, no, in all seriousness, it did seem to work for the person using it, because they were able to just sort of shuffle, shuffle, shuffle. Here's a Dark Magician, shuffle, shuffle, shuffle. Here's a second Dark Magician. Oh look, I've now lost my Dark Magician in favour of a bigger magician, but now this bigger magician can bring back the old Dark Magician. And there seems to be a lot of sort of all of these that can come back at all times, which is fairly standard practice in the modern Yu-Gi-Oh! It's, I sacrificed this card, but you know, it wasn't really a sacrifice because it's back again now. I sacrificed this one in order to summon this big monster, but you know, it just comes back. It wasn't gone for long, so it didn't really cost me anything to get this big monster. I need to ditch this rope somewhere, really. Don't know where to ditch the rope. Well, I suppose there's rope in there, that'll do. Flyers. So let's go down into my office, warehouse, and try and get me some flyers. Jizzy Karoo! It's not technically what you wrote, but it's what I read. Jizzy Karoo. Hello, I'm Jizzy Karoo. Don't ask why I'm called Jizzy Karoo, you won't want the answer. Interesting. Are you sure? Oh, that's the writing test, that's why. Flyers. Excellent. Right, so we wanted 10 flyers. And of course, Super Anti-Kaiju War Machine Mecha Dogoran is Mecha Godzilla, of course. The Lightning Strike Kaiju is King Ghidorah. And Jizzy Karoo, the Star-Destroying Kaiju, is Legion. I don't know Legion. I know Mecha Godzilla and I know King Ghidorah, but I do not recognise Legion as a thing. Let's use some more flyers. Excellent. Now, where did I put that faith? Oh, I used it all. That's fine, I used it all. I wasn't sure if I'd stored it somewhere, because if I'd stored it somewhere, I could have sort of popped him out. Butler-esque. Don't play him if you can help it. I'm assuming, in fairness, it probably wouldn't go well just randomly inside a Black Rose Dragon deck either, so not going to touch it, but his card art looked neat. Now, I must admit, I've never really been disappointed with the card art of Yu-Gi-Oh! It's always been rather spectacular, I think. Some monsters are weird, but they've never been truly sort of bad, I don't think. Even their weirdest monsters tend to be quite interesting and good, is what I'm trying to say. Let's grab cabbages, cabbages for me. Everybody loves cabbages. Also saw the word Dino Wrestler on a card, yes. I must admit, if, as is so often the way, I don't know how competitive they are, but I couldn't help but think of Can't Sleep Must Paint when I spotted Dino Wrestlers, because it was very much like, oh, because I maintained, to a certain extent, I maintained the thought track that there is a deck there for everybody. Now, granted, a lot of them are not competitive decks, but there is a deck archetype out there for everybody. And it is quite amusing, because for those of you who don't know, and I don't think you'd mind me specifying, because it's, you know, it's not uncommon knowledge, I don't think, but Mr. Can't Sleep Must Paint, firstly, was a wrestler, and secondly, loves dinosaurs. And so the fact that there is an archetype called Dino Wrestler is just a magnificent coincidence of phenomenal proportion. And it does please me greatly to know that my thoughts on there is an archetype for everyone kind of holds true there. Because it's very much like, yep, no, that is definitely the archetype for him. Did that mean he was a king of dinosaurs from King of Fighters? I suppose arguably if King of Dinosaur was a more of a wrestling man than a fighting man. I realise wrestling is sort of fighting, but it's a slightly different discipline. Onions, 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 onions. Oh, where do I keep my onions? Apparently they're going outside. Oh, in fact, I do actually keep my onions outside. I don't think it's intentional to keep my onions outside. It's not like some conscious decision. He's a wrestler in a raptor costume. Ah. See, it wouldn't surprise me. Wouldn't surprise me if Can't Sleep had done that at some point, but I'm unaware of that one. I'll probably put it away now. We've not really accomplished much, but we've pottered around, I suppose. We need, at some point, we need to make sure we keep our faith in order to run the comedy show at the pub. And that will hopefully get me slightly further along that line. I think in terms of the artifacts, I think we'll start rocking and rolling fairly swiftly through those, which I think will help me slightly roll into a lot of the other little bits and bobs as well, which I think will inevitably be good. Because I suspect once we can get it rolling, I think we'll be able to get through fairly swiftly. Dark Magician is somewhat popular rogue deck. Oh, there's definitely worse. There's definitely worse options, but it's not really a meta power. That's fair. Let's do admin first. Let's do admin. So we'll ditch this. Get rid of that. The boss monster they want to go into is Dark Dragoon, which is currently banned. Oh, well, that's slightly inconvenient. What is that? What is that? It is a boop. A boop upon you, sir. A boop upon you. We might go there, I don't know. Let's have a look around this place and see if we can do things. Don't you whack me. Don't you whack it in a jacket. Oh, no, that is offline, so never mind that then. Wow! Don't you wow me. And may move up to Fringe Meta. Fringe Meta? I hardly know her. Definitely got in there first that time. And I suspect you're now sort of going, I wasn't even going to say anything. I'm never going to say anything like that. How dare you suggest I was going to say that. I don't know if I'm going to bother with a raid. Come in. Yep, no, come in if you insist. Go away. I knew it was the knocking on the screen. Just a minor point, but it's fine. I thought I'd try and let you have it. I thought I'd try and let you enjoy it, but I might not bother. I might not bother with the raid. I mean, there's 4 of us, but I don't think I'm going to be bothered. Let's just go through the usual doings so that you know what you're doing. Well, so know what you're doing. I've got 2 chat windows open. I don't know which one to use. I suppose let's type in that one and then. That's a cutie pie. That's basically what. That's basically Oni's deck right there. A dessert with a sort of cuteness to it. Right. So tomorrow evening I suspect you have Mr. Nickerin. Hop over there. He was playing King of Fighters. I don't know whether he is still continuing to play King of Fighters, but he is nonetheless. He was playing King of Fighters. And what is that? That is...
Am I supposed to go? I'm supposed to go here.
Oh, it's Bioshock, isn't it?
No.
I wasn't quite certain.
Fuck off. You can do whatever you want.
Oh, alright. I mean,
honestly don't give a shit.
I might consider doing what I want, but I'm fairly certain it was Bioshock. He'll be starting something new, so if you're interested in a new game from Mr. Nickerin, that is tomorrow 9 o'clock. And I believe, I don't know, difficult to say, depends on what we end up doing as to what Mr. Blue Boosh decides to do, but possibly 10 o'clock, between 9 and 10 maybe, there may be some Blue Boosh action, possibly painting, possibly something else, possibly, I don't know, but there's almost always a guarantee of laughter. Especially if we do something like that, where it is it's alarmingly frequent that there is a reason for me to draw a massive arse on the screen. Likely Phasma shenanigans. I drew that, yes. But technically, much like Lando Calrissian, it's not my fault. Mostly because, of course, it's everybody else who starts sort of...
Okay. Let's move on, shall we? Caesar P.
It's everybody else. They keep putting things on, and they keep going, oh, look, it's got, it's an arse pooing multiple things out. And then I have no choice but to draw an arse pooing multiple things out. So, as I say, it's not my fault. I draw what I'm told to draw. It's not my fault that what I'm told to draw is an arse. Constantly drawing arses on that program. I put it roughly blue eyes level with that card band, but likely better if it goes to one. A whoopee cushion. Whoopee. Whoopies. Which arguably is what that is. Whoopies. Anyway, there may be trouble ahead. No, there may be a bonus stream tomorrow. I don't know. Possibly something in the afternoon. Might do something Blender related. We shall see. But then probably do Saturday. There's no real reason not to, I don't think. So, yeah. I will likely be back Saturday afternoon for a little more World of Final Fantasy. Yes, that's it. So I will say cheerio and then put the stream away. So, cheerio.